Claudio Martini at Resistance Training, and it is Saturday, October 25th, 2025. All right, today's topic is going to be modern day diets and how their dogma, all right, will eventually become religious beliefs. They are religious in nature, all right, and very, very sensitive to the people that practice whatever type of, dogmatic diet they practice. So far to the point that they will have arguments amongst each other. Even close friends will have arguments. It's just like a religion, you know. You're a Protestant, this guy's a Catholic. You're Jewish, you're a Muslim. It's to that point. So I'm making this video to get my opinion out there and my point of view and my beliefs. And I'm going to say right here from the get-go, it doesn't mean that I'm right. Okay? It doesn't mean what I say is the truth, because I don't know. All right? And I don't think really anybody knows. Okay? We know to a point. There is scientific literature, and people have been studying the way human beings have been eating and are eating, and they can come up to a few conclusions. But then you start going off into the fringes, like your veganism, all right, then your vegetarianism, then I don't know why they call them carnivores, because I guess they eat meat, but the whole world eat meat, so I don't know why that label's there, but it is. So first of all, let's get into what I eat so there's no misconception, because I was reading in one of Master T's Genetic Beasts video, and Steve cited that I had said that carnivore diets are horse shit. All right. I may have said that, but I didn't say in the contents that it was taken out of contents, okay? Because what I meant when I said that is this, and I'm going to get right into this. So we'll get back to that statement in a second, but I want to say this. This is what I eat, all right? Let's get this. And this is the last time I'm ever going to make a video on what I eat, because really, frankly, it's no one's fucking business what I eat, okay? But just for the sake of educational purposes and to give you the idea, I don't like to preach and tell people what to eat. I will tell them how to train, and because that's what I know best, and I know from trial and error that's gotten me the best results, that I have, and my karate background, so I can pretty much have a little bit more confidence and say that I kind of know what I'm talking about there. But when it comes to food, I don't think anyone knows. So here's what I eat. I eat beef. I eat lamb occasionally. I eat pork occasionally, not all the time. I eat chicken, all right? I eat dairy products, all right? I eat butter, okay? With me so far? All the animal. I eat eggs, all right? I eat cheese. That's pretty much what I eat for the animal kingdom, all right? Next, I eat melons, okay? Honeydew, watermelon, cantaloupe, okay? I eat those things. Occasionally, I'll have fresh strawberries, fresh strawberries, okay? Apples, fresh apples, okay? What else? An avocado now and then, okay? That's pretty much, and green leaf lettuce, all right? Now, if you noticed all the things that I just mentioned, here's why I eat those. I want to make this very clear. I eat the melons, all right? The honeydew, cantaloupe, because they are almost zero oxalates, all right? So what I'm trying to say is they're probably more likely there is some damage that they probably do, but okay, I understand that. But they're a minimal amount, all right? And because I fear oxalates more than anything else, because oxalates are little pieces of shard. They're crystals, they're jagged, and they accumulate and settle in all of our tissues. That's what they do. All right. So that's why I eat those. They have some sugar to them. It's a fast acting fructose. The next thing that was on the list after that was, what did I say? Strawberries, also low in oxalates, depending on the berries and the time of season. Some can be a little higher than others. So I eat strawberries because strawberries are extremely low in calories. Like 15 strawberries, like 60 calories, okay? So you can eat a bucket of strawberries and get hardly any calories, okay? The next thing, a Hass avocado. Hass, not other, but Hass avocados are also very, very low in oxalates, all right? And green leaf lettuce, zero, almost zero oxalates. So this is why I have those foods, all right? The next on the list for grains, we come into the grains. White rice, I will eat white rice for glucose, okay? Glucose, because also there are virtually zero oxalates because the oxalate is in the husk. Brown rice has a much higher oxalate content than the white rice. So if you get white rice, that's been removed. So when you cook or steam white rice, you will get a very low oxalate. And I know they have arsenic. The way to get around that is to get non-American, Asian, or what is that one rice? Jasmine rice. You can get organic jasmine rice from Thailand or certain areas where it's very, very low in arsenic. All right? You got to shop and do your research. But still, I don't do rice daily. And then we'll get into why I do what I do in just a second. So there's rice for my grains. Potatoes, now here's the thing with potatoes. They're very high in oxalate. They're higher. I would say medium to high. But the thing about a potato is I don't do them. It's the dose on a daily basis. These vegetables and fruits are toxic to a point. We know this. So make the dose, make the poison, it's the dose than the poison. So the potatoes are done maybe once a month or once every couple of months. I don't do potatoes all the time. Very, very seldom do I eat potatoes. Hold on a second. It's getting chilly in here. Hold on. We got this, we got a wood stove in the other room that I got going, and I got to stoke the thing up. Staying lean still. All right. Oh, guys. It's kind of got a breeze in here. All right. So I do some grains. All right. I do grains. And those are the grains that I do. I don't do any other grains. I don't do anything else as far as grains are concerned. So that's what I eat. Okay. Now, I did not say that carnivore's horse shit. What I meant by saying carnivore is horse shit is that in the content, God, I can't even talk. That I said it may have not made sense. So let's clarify what I mean by it was horse shit. What I mean that it's horse shit is there is no such thing as carnivore. We're all carnivores. All right. Like T says, we're all eating meat unless you're a vegan or a vegetarian. Now, those diets, they have a specific name because it's true in nature what they are. If they don't eat any meat or any kind of dairy or eggs, you're a vegan. You don't eat any animals. A vegan means plants. That's it. A vegetarian means eggs and dairy. So those have classifications. But as a carnivore, all right, saying, are we a carnivore or omnivore? All right, sure, you could make the argument that we can eat anything, but so can a carnivore. A wolf can eat anything. If a wolf was dead ass starving out in the woods, and just, don't you think they would resort to try to eat something other than meat if it wasn't around? They would probably be able to digest an something, a bark or whatever. Not efficiently, but they probably would be able to. So does that make a wolf a omnivore? Of course not. So in nature we are carnivores with the ability to eat other shit too. All right, so we can eat other. Doesn't mean we're an omnivore. All right, it just means that we're able to eat other foods. So that's what I meant by saying that this carnivore is a horse shitters. They're horse shitters. All right, so I want to clarify that. So yes, classifying that you are a carnivore because you only eat meat, you could put it in a much better way and say, I'm only eat meat and I eliminate all other foods. All right, that's probably the proper way to say it, because you're not eating anything else. All right, so I consider myself a carnivore, even though I implement some other types of foods. All right, and here I'm going to give you the biggest sin breaker of all. All right, I had a pint of ice cream 4 days ago. A pint of vanilla ice cream. You know, Tillamook, was it Tillamook? Tillamook vanilla ice cream. A pint. The reason for vanilla, you want to know why? Because there's no oxalates. It's vanilla extract. I don't eat anything that has oxalates in it. I try my best to remove oxalate. Tea, all right, green tea, English tea, all full of oxalates. Coffee, virtually none. Okay, nothing in coffee. Okay, so there's a reason behind the methods on why I eat the way that I do. And that's in the end of that. All right, now I want to get to the second part here, and let me say this. Does that mean that I'm correct in my beliefs and how my diet's working for me? Absolutely not. Doesn't mean shit. It's just my opinion. It's my opinion and what I like to eat and what satisfies me. I could be totally 100% wrong. And it could be that these foods that I'm eating are detrimental to my health. Who knows? But I will admit to you that I have been as domesticated to some point by our society and the society that I grew up in. But I will say this, all right, and I want to get this clear. We came from Italy, all right? We're Northern Italian. My mom and my father came here back in the 60s. I came over here when I was 10 or 11, 12 years old, okay? I didn't even speak English. They had to send me to a Catholic school just to teach me how to speak English. That's why a lot of times I find it hard to find the right words and to put them in the right places. But here's what I'll tell you. When we came over here in Italy, my folks were poor. All right, but when they came to America, my dad got a good job because that's how he got over here from his uncle brought him over here. And his uncle had a big restaurant and they had some money. So when my dad started to work for him, we got good quality food at home. When I was growing up as a little kid, you know, in my teens, all we ate was frickin' beef. My dad was so proud that he said, I'm going to feed my family the best food. We had steaks in the refrigerator. That's all we ate. And some of the kids that would come over, I remember from school, after school, they would look at me and say, God, you guys eat steak every day. Isn't that bad for you? And they couldn't believe it. We ate steak. So they would come over sometimes just so they could get a plate of meat or some beef or pork or roasted chicken. So we ate a majority of food which was all meat. All right, very, very little vegetables. Maybe had a salad, you know, or some other stuff, and you know, some milk, and after dinner some ice cream. But that was it. I grew up with a lot of meat. Maybe that could be why, you know, I've aged the way I am. I feel pretty good, but I have eaten meat most of my life. And most people out there that are on these vegan trends, you know, and preach all this gospel bullshit, they were the same way. We all did. We all grew up on some type of meat product, okay? So I want to say this is that we're all going to eat what we want to eat, all right? So Steve, I'm talking to you, buddy. You gotta, you know, you work out. I watch your channel. You do your workouts. Do your workouts. That's good. You're 60. What are you, 60 now? All right. That's awesome. You know, do what you need to do. And I'm not going to tell you what to eat. I'm not going to tell you what kind of cardio. But I personally, I don't want to get into spats with people and try to say, like, go to Master T and tell him, hey, you're full of shit, that you're going to die from this, you know, you're going to die, and that all that fat's going to kill you, or not doing cardio is going to fuck you up, and my heartbeat's lower than your heartbeat. Listen, there's no room for that. We're all going to learn from each other. Believe it or not, we even learn by watching Blaha, even though that sometimes he can be a little bit a little heavy, you know what I'm saying? But still, listening to this guy, this clown, is you can learn something even from a fool sometimes, all right? Sometimes we can listen to fools and pick up things that we would not normally pick up from a regular person. So it's always good to have an open mind and learn from everybody. So, hey, listen, if T believes what he does, that's awesome. I'm not going to tell T he's going to die of a heart attack. I'm not going to tell people that are vegans. You know, here's the thing. I don't go to vegan channels and tell them that they're all going to fucking shrivel up and die and you're all fucked up. It's not my thing. They need to figure it out for themselves. Now, I will criticize them. You know, I will sit back and say that that's fucking bad and I don't believe in what they're doing, but I'm not going to go specifically to them, all right, and say, hey, you're going to drop dead, because no one knows who the fuck's going to drop dead and who's not. You know, it could be, and here's the thing, I have a superstition, all right? I never say to anyone, hey, that shit there's going to kill you, because you know what? It could very well be me the next day that drops over dead by me acting boastful and prideful, because we don't fucking know, all right? No one fucking knows. And when it comes to diet, really no one knows. We're all out here just making assumptions and making all these, I don't know, you start getting into the weeds and going out there with science. Even the scientific people, they know somewhat, but they don't know 100%, all right? And who knows, 10 years down the road, they might find out other shit that's going on that they just now found, you know, that we don't know now. They'll find out 10 years from now. So all I'm saying is, I just wanted to clarify it. I don't call any type of a diet. I do call it horse shit, but it's got to be in the way that what I mean by horse shit is, if you're a vegan, I think it's going to be detrimental to your health 100%. That's my opinion, okay? That's my opinion. Could I be wrong? Maybe. But I don't think so, but I could be. So I'm going to voice my opinion on that, and I'm not going to try to get into battles with people on whether I'm right or they're wrong and this and that. That's not up to me. I'm going to do what you do. Here's what I have to say to everyone out there in this community. This is an awesome community, you know. We all talk amongst each other. We all put in our point of views. So there's no reason for any of us to start smacking around someone else, but unless it's needed. Sometimes you got to smack people around, and I'm not saying, you know, that you shouldn't, but if someone attacks me, I'm going to see why they attacked me, and then I'm going to put forth my rebuttal to their attack, all right? But I'm going to say this. Let's not be crude, bullyish, and try to force our beliefs onto other people. your belief, my belief's my belief. I eat the way that I do, all right, because that's what I believe. I could very well be wrong. I'm not an authority. So when it comes to that, I'm going to leave it at that. You do what you do. I'll do what I do, and see how that works out for you. If it does, good for you. If it doesn't, okay, then we can learn from one another. But that's what I eat in a nutshell. All right. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is this whole thing on fat loss, gaining weight, losing weight. In the whole nutshell, it's all calories in, or calories how much you eat and how much your body expend. And everyone will try to, a lot of these people out here will try to tell you that that's bullshit, that you can eat massive amounts of saturated fat and butter. In other words, if I need to be at 2,000 calories to be in a deficit to lose a pound per week, and I'm eating 4,000 calories in fat, lard, and butter, I will gain fucking weight. My markers will get fucked up. My blood pressure will probably go out of whack. For me, for a person my size, my height. Now, I will gain weight. I know. How do I know? I've tried it. 20 years ago. I tried that. I tried the keto thing. It puts weight on. Even it doesn't matter if there's no carbs. It's because you're eating more than your body is burning for energy. That's just the laws of thermodynamics. You're never, and anyone that tells you that that's not true, they're full of shit. They are totally full of shit. All right. So I'm going to say that. And as far as this whole thing, this next point I want to make is this whole thing on cardio. All right. Cardio's, how would I say it? It's okay to a point. All right. You don't want to go hog wild on cardio. You can walk. All right. You can do fast walking. Go out in the neighborhood, go up, hills, go up to like a park where there's hills and, up and down hills, and walk through the park for an hour. Get some great exercise. I'm talking about going out and pounding the fucking pavement, with shoes and just jogging all out. Okay. Going out and just pounding and jogging and shit. All right. That's not going to be good for you. I personally know. That's my opinion. Again, I could be wrong, but from what I've seen in my experience doing the karate, the martial arts, it's just not going to be good for what you think you're doing it for. If you're doing it to get lean, it's not going to get you lean. It may help facilitate the burning of a few extra calories, but if your diet's not on par, you're just tearing shit up. You're burning up vital energy that could be used for you to get stronger in your lifting. Because at the end of the day, all that running around, that could be viable energy used to help you get stronger and not get sarcopenia. All right. See, even Blaha has realized this. Blaha, in one of his videos, you learn things. I'm listening to him in one of his videos, and he said that he had to cut back on all his running, and his squat went up, and things, he started to get stronger. Okay. And you can see in his latest videos, he looks a little bit tiny thicker. That running still, it fucked him up a lot, but he was starting to realize that all that fucking barefoot running was fucking with him, and it will fuck with him even more. T took a picture of the guy, and he's going with the dumbbells, and man, I looked at his arms, all right, and this is not to cut him down or anything, but he's got arms, it must be 12 or 13-inch arms. See, and it's because of all this exhaustion, which could have been used to lift and train in a manner to keep his muscle. Now, I don't know what kind of training Blaha does, because I'm not going to critique his training. I even have no clue. All I know is Blaha has lifts, all right, that he does, and then they just repeat themselves. He could make one lift and do one set on one lift and another set, and then put them together and make it seem like he's in there lifting for hours. So who the fuck knows? He's probably sitting back eating a fucking milkshake as far as we know. But my point is that even he realizes that heavy duty cardio is not going to facilitate to keep you strong and not hager you out and not it cause all that cortisol. Cortisol is going to be detrimental to your health. Okay. So what I'm going to say on cardio is this: too much or a lot of heavy cardio is going to be detrimental. It's going to age you and it's going to hurt you in the long run. All right. It's not good. Do some walking and do your lifting. All right. Lift. Try to get as strong as you possibly can. And then this is the last thing, and then I'm out of here. These things go so long. All right, big guy, got to get them out there because I want you to know where I'm coming from, okay? Like I said, this is an organic channel. I'm not trying to horse shit anybody. I'm trying to be up front. Do you ever see the movie Rumblefish with Matt Dillon, all right, and Mickey Rourke? He's in a scene in that. He's in this drugstore, and Matt Dillon comes off, and they go, man, and give you kind of a rundown on the show. Mickey Rourke's this like hero guy, the motorcycle boy they call him. He's a hero to the whole town because he used to be in the motorcycle gang, and they all looked up to him like he's a great, like a godlike figure. So he's in the drugstore, and Matt Dillon comes on, and he says, man, yeah, they can't believe, and Matt Dillon is his brother, his younger brother, and he comes into the drugstore and he says, man, everyone thinks you're so damn cool. They would follow you like the Pied Pal, but they'd follow you into the river, he said. And Mickey Rourke plays the part of, he's got kind of, he's like nuts. He's kind of insane, you know, like not all there. And his father knows there's something not quite right with the guy. Okay, you got to watch the movie. It's an old black and white. Francis Ford Coppola is a reason I watched the movie. I kind of like some of his things. But anyway, Mickey Rourke turns to him and says, you know, if you're going to lead people, you got to have somewhere to go. And that line always stuck with me. If you're going to tell people advice, you got to have somewhere to take them. And that's why sometimes I'm critical of Blaha, because some of the shit that this guy says, he's taking people to the wrong place. And it's for greed, all right? Now, I'm not saying I know that 100% from what I perceive. I'm going to call people out, all right? It's not picking on them. It's not being belligerent to them. But I'm going to pick people out when I see something that they're preaching that's not correct, all right? It's not. Some of the things are kind of way out there off the wall. So if you're going to lead people, you got to have somewhere to take them. You want to take them to a good place. So that's why this channel is an organic channel. I'm never going to tell you I know that I know, and this is the only way. When someone says this is the only way and there is no other way and nothing else is going to work because I am right and everyone else is wrong, that's a sign right there that you've walked into a dogmatic situation where you're never going to change this person's mind. And you know, I will tell you this, it's your beliefs. Like T says, you can die with your beliefs. And a lot of people, many have. There's been great wars and whole civilizations have died because of a religion, a belief, and they've all perished because their dogma took them clear to the very end to fall off that fucking cliff. So remember, sometimes you got to think outside the box and go places that we have not been before. So I'm going to end this by saying this. You know what I eat now. That's no secret. And I will never tell you should do carnivore. You should do vegan. I'm not going to preach any type of diet. What you do what's best for you. And I'll do what's best for me. But I will say this. We are carnivores because we have always eaten meat and we still do eat meat. And if you're only eating meat, all right, then you would say I'm on an elimination diet. I eat only meat and nothing else, all right? Now, I could go even into why I use why I use rice and why I eat the fruits and the vegetables, but that's another video, all right? I'm not going to get into this whole thing on fiber and all this. It gets so complicated. Remember, don't make what you eat a religion. Cut loose sometimes, all right? I had a pint of vanilla ice cream. It was delicious. And I had it after a nice big freaking sirloin steak. I had the sirloin, you know, sauteed with button mushrooms and butter. Beautiful. An hour later, I have a pint of ice cream. Jesus Christ, buddy, I'm 70 fucking years old, okay? Enjoy yourself. And unlike, I'm not here to try to advance. Listen, everyone wants to live to 120. Everybody. If you say, yeah, I'd like to live to 120. You've got this longevity guy out there obsessed. He's obsessed with this aging, all right? That in itself will age you and stress you out. I bet he's up at night, this Tony character, he's probably up at night thinking and just thinking and go, oh, I gotta find it. I gotta find the key. I gotta find out why he just did a video here about a woman that reached, what was it, 117. He's asking, why did she die? She fucking died because she was 117, man. Jesus Christ, dude. Come on, buddy. Are we gone off the fucking rails or what, Tony? Come on, Tony. Tony, come on, buddy. You'd be lucky. I hope you make it to 117. I hope we all make it to 117, all right? But listen, man, don't obsess. Enjoy your life, have fun, and have fun with the people that you interact with. I don't agree with everyone, but you know what? It's fun to talk and interact. You got a point of view, I'll give you. It's like you ever go and have a beer with someone, you're talking, and everyone, we got 2 or 3 guys, and you got a camaraderie amongst all of you, and we're all talking, and no, that's not right, and the other guys, oh no, you're wrong, and it's just all BS at the end of the day. But guess what? You go home, you feel good because you got your point of view out, they got their point of view out, and we all had a good time. That's how this whole YouTube thing should be. Not calling people fucking name like that Vegan Gains. If someone doesn't disagree with him, the guy will cut them all up, call them names, threaten to beat them up, and it's horse shit, dude. That's not called for anywhere on this platform by anybody here. We're all here to learn. I learn from you, you learn from me, they learn from us, and it's all one big happy family. All right, ciao, my friends. I hope you like this video again. It's gone a little long. Doggone it. We'll talk to you soon. Ciao. Subscribe. Like this channel.